Hi students, welcome to the Nctech Rapid Revision for Financial Planning and Decision Making. Now students understand it very well. This financial analysis question will be tested only on interpretation, students. It's not calculation, it's interpretation. That is effectively how you use your skeptical skill in order to think and give a point of view on the results. Now students, in the examination, definitely one question is possible. On investment proposal, financial performance, anything can come. Now, the biggest challenge the students do, or the mistake they do, is they write the pre-scene statistic without any relevance. Can you remember, students, in the pre-scene, the last two pages, they had some statistics of the charts. Now, revenue has fallen, security breach increased. Now, pre-scene material, now you write it directly, you won't get marks, students. You have to think and apply. Now, students, you understand this section has three areas: financial understanding, models, and benchmarking. Now, if you observe, students, the ratios, you need not memorize everything. You have to have the understanding of what is profitable ratio, what is gearing ratio, what is investor ratio, what is working capital ratio, and you can't write a standard answer. You have to always consider the exhibit and write it. So KPIs may be asked to develop. So you have to think little industry based. Don't repeat the same KPIs that is given in the pre-scene. Think and write. Now in investment appraisal, once again, the students should have the idea of NPV, ARR, IRR, payback period, discounted payback period, and then break-even point. Just it's there in the textbook. I don't think they may test it because it's very easy here. Basic costing, variable cost, all, and then variance analysis, forecasting, and budget. Now, if you see, they will always give you a section where the results are published. And your point of view is how are you going to interpret that results in practical aspect. Now, one big issue that the students do is they only focus on the financial things here. But in the exam, one supportive thing that you can't just dump the model, but when you're going through financial factors, you can think about internal perspective. Are they doing any improvements? Learning and growth. Is there any innovation, technological research? Nothing. And then customer perspective. How are they improving their customer base? And this financial perspective as per the balance scorecard. And Baldrige model also is a performance measurement technique very similar to balance scorecard. But in this, we focus on the leadership. Example, the corporate governance rules, how many years they are appointed, what are the targets for the leaders, and then the strategy. Now, for our company, we don't have any strategy at the moment, although we are in a flux. Then customer perspective is important, workforce is important, operation functions are important, results are important, and measurement analysis. Now, customer perspective, same like balance scorecard. Workforce is like the employee perspective. Are we giving them any training? Operations, day-to-day operations, what are the challenges we have, internal controls. The results is what they give in the examination. You have to use that and write the answer. And then the new developments. And benchmarking also one thing that the students ignore, because when you get the data, you have to benchmark with the industry, benchmark with the competition, that is competitive benchmarking, then internal benchmarking, then we have functional benchmarking, then generic benchmarking, where effectively we have the elements like how people develop the flights using the birds, the ducks were used for ships, the eyes were used to develop lens for cameras. So that is the generic benchmarking idea. And then students, I just want to show you one important idea. Now, this is the VTM pre-mock. Now, this is not having any relevance to financial analysis, but this is more toward integrated reporting. But I just want you to guide you on how to think if you go to the exam. You have to observe the industry data. Now here 8% is given. These are the industry data. If we are below the industry, questioning is important. Skepticism is important. And how they calculated this industry average, we don't know. But now let's see here. The sales is growing. Do you see the sales is growing? Yeah. The sales, you see, it's growing. It's a positive indicator. Now you have to ask a question. Why there is an increase in sales? So you can't say good service. You have to see here the customers. The one is the customer complaints. You see here customer complaints is there. Delays in delivery, delay on outstanding orders. You see here the three main things. Now you observe industry customer complaint average is 2.75, but you see in 2012 it is 3.15, and in here it's 3.45. But you see, students, The customer complaints are increasing, but still there is a growth in the sales revenue. And similarly, students, you see the delays, we have 10% delay, but still it is growing. But outstanding order is the issue. Now, students, do you see in the start of the year it's 3,300, and here is the issue. I believe you can observe this is effectively going to how much, students? 4,200. That means we have accepted massive orders without proper planning. That has resulted in delays, and when the delays increase, customers will not like it. And also the customer complaints, we don't know on what, whether the performance or the delay or any other things that you have to skeptically question. Now, the biggest challenge for us is sustainability. The issue is we have made a lot of sales without sustainability. Now, see, the customers are not booking the ticket. So, you have to analyze in that perspective. Gross profit is given, but the cost is not given. So, you have to ask that question, where is the cost? Because it will be easy for us to do the interpretation. And now you see the market is 5%, but do you observe here staff turnover is 6%? You have to understand that very practically. So you have to identify an employee count is reducing and R&D expenses are very less. That means we are in a flux, or we are going to be in a flux. Some new players can come in the market. Carbon emission, again, we are higher. And then percentage of renewable energy towards the power consumed, again, we are less than. So you see operational inefficiency. That doesn't mean I'm not mugging. I'm not directly writing the balance scorecard. I'm not directly writing the Baldrige. I'm able to connect it more to the situation. I believe this gives you a better clarity on how you have to think. So it's not a hard area, student, because everything comes from the case study. And if you spend more time on pre-seen material, you are losing a lot of marks. Please be more focused with the exhibit. Now, the next thing, students, if you observe in this case, now just to give you the idea, students, just to give you the understanding. Now, this is the cojet case study for your understanding. I believe that you are very much aware about. Now, if you observe the cojet case study, students, the task 3. Now, students, again, it's related to the financial analysis. Now, you see this performance report. Now, they have given the performance report in Excel sheet. You observe the revenues. You see the revenue is growing, correct? No, same trend. Revenue is growing. And you have to quickly check with the KPIs. Oh, here, summary. Passengers. Passengers are customer. Customers are increasing. The number of routes are increasing. One direct contribution. Correct, no, students? And one more thing, students. If you observe, one more thing, students, revenue per customer has fallen down. Do you see the revenue per customer is falling down? I believe you are able to observe that. So you have to technically keep these things in your mind in order to understand the application very well to the exam point of view. So I believe this gives you a better clarity, better application at the moment. And then students, slowly when we are going towards the up, you can observe the fuel cost is growing. And the issue is, students, are we recovering that? So you have to ask yourself, and the available seat per kilometers, the revenue per seat per load factor. So you have to connect these things. I believe you are getting that idea from the previous things. Don't go with the technical mindset. It will not give you a lot of marks. Keep your mind free. The free mind has more thinking application. So I believe that gives you the applied thinking at the end of the day. Thank you very much, students.